Hello, my name is Doug Leasure, and I have more than 10 years of experience with Active Planner. And so I just wanted to make a series of video recordings to share some of that experience with you and to help you to understand the product a little bit better and hopefully get the same enjoyment out of using Active Planner as I've had over these many years. So I thought we'd go ahead and start with some of the very basics, and that would be the installation of Active Planner. So the first thing you'd want to do is to browse to the CD where Active Planner, to your Active Planner CD, or else to the place where you've downloaded the Active Planner CD or maintenance release. And so let's go ahead and browse there. And so what we'll do is browse to that location, and in that location then you should find a setup.exe. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. And let me explain why that's launching. That with this setup, this is the setup that we would use to create the network share for Active Planner. So typically you'd run this install and install it on one of your file shares. So you can see here that the install shell wizard is running and extracting the things that it needs. But when it's done, we're going to go ahead and install this again on a file share. Once we've installed Active Planner there, then each of our client PCs will run the client setup from there. But again, the idea is that there's a single installation of Active Planner, and from there, all clients do their client setup from there. So we'll get to the first screen here of the Active Planner network installation, and we'll just click Next. And we'll see the license agreement, so we can read that, print it, and say yes to accept it. And then it's looking for the username, and so you would enter your username, followed by your company and your title, whatever would be appropriate there. Click Next, and an opportunity to read the README file and see the latest information. And then an opportunity to select the destination folder. By default, it's going to the C programs, say Active Planner folder, and some checkboxes here for the items that we want to install. And again, in a typical environment, we would not put it on the C drive, but we would put it on a network file share, and then share that folder out to all of the Active Planner users. In my case, this is a standalone machine. Everything's encompassed in just one machine, so I'll go ahead and put it on the default C drive. And then the last thing is the last screen says exactly what current settings are. That is what it's going to do. Click Next, and it will actually begin the installation process. And of course, we can watch the progress bar as it does the installation. And then finally, we have the last screen where it says the installation is complete, and we can click the Finish button. Okay, and so once the network install is done, now we are ready for the client install. But what I'm going to do first of all is go ahead and take a look at Windows Explorer and take a look at the folder that was created from the network install. And so if we look over here, we can see that the Active Planner folder was created, and inside of there we have two client setup folders, Client Setup 64 and Client Setup. So the 64, it would be the 64-bit version of the client setup. So if your PC's operating system was a 64-bit machine, then you'd want to do use the setup.exe inside of this folder. Now, in my case, this particular PC that we're running is a 32-bit PC. So we will use the setup.exe inside of the CLI setup folder. Okay, so let's go ahead and launch the setup.exe and let it install the necessary .NET prerequisites. And again, let me explain that I launched this off of my C drive, which is not what most customers would be doing, because for most customers, the network install would have been done to a network drive. That drive would have been, or that folder then would have been shared to all of the Active Planner users. And the easiest way to often do that is to create a group and put all of your Active Planner users inside that group. Give that group then full permission to the Active Planner folder, to that share that you created for the Active Planner. And then every client PC that will be running Active Planner would browse to the UNC path to that share and run the appropriate client setup, either 32 or 64-bit version. So now we're looking again at the client install, and so we'll just go next. We'll see the user license, and we get a chance to read it, print it, and agree to it, and enter our customer information. And now we get the setup type. By default, it's going to be on network, and I'll encourage every one of you to use this option, the network option. 99.9% of the time, that is the correct option for everyone to use. And the last thing is where it's going to create just a program folder. We'll say yes to that, and then this is what it's going to do. That is the client install whenever we click the next button. And now it begins doing the client install. And you get to see the progress of that. And as it finishes the installation here, one other thing I wanted to tell you that we will in a future video go through some of the other steps of actually creating the demo data and creating the necessary databases on SQL Server. So you'll find that in a future video. And eventually we get the final screen here saying that the installation is complete. We click the finish button, and we are done. Again, watch for the next video where we'll go through the admin tool and actually do the creation and of the databases and populating it with the needed objects for Active Planner to work correctly. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.